living an interesting life, is here to share 3 secrets about how to make your speeches entertaining, effective, and memorable. His speech is entitled Talk Good, and it's 6 to 8 minutes. Everyone welcome David Letterfly.
Thank you. Oh, I am so embarrassed. I feel like a little kid at school, and the teacher zeroed in on me and asked me a question, and I'm not prepared. And me, of all people, I know about preparation. When I was with the circus and I was waiting to go on with my 6 ponies, I would pause and do affirmative visualization. I would close my eyes and I would visualize the routine occurring flawlessly. Then, when the whistle blew and the ringmaster made his announcement and the band started playing our song and they whisked the back door curtain open, I took the 6 ponies into the center ring. We began our routine. Buttons, Buster, Jumper, get up there. Julie, Tex, come on, here, get ready. Hey, yay, waltz. Good job, Finley. It was all because I was prepared. But now I'm embarrassed. Here I am, going to tell you how to give a good speech. And I want to tell you the first thing. Whenever you get up here, never, ever start your speech off by saying you're embarrassed. You always want to start out with a powerful statement, like there is strength in words. Or how about, and there is power in how we deliver them. I'm here to share with you 3 secrets on how to give a better speech. I'm going to tell you 1, how you can use devices, both rhetorical, gestural, and rhythmic, to make your speeches more entertaining. 2, I'm going to tell you how to outsmart your evaluator. And 3, what it is that you can do to leave your audience wanting more. Now, there's a whole bunch of concern here with Toastmasters about our relationship with the ah counter. An ah is an unnecessary word. I like to call it a weed word. When I gave my icebreaker, I broke the record for saying ah. You couldn't tell my attempt at a speech from any different from a doctor's throat examination marathon. What I've developed is a special technique that you can use when you catch yourself saying ah. Simply elongate the word and morph it into something else. Like this. The most interesting thing that I have found is the use of a surprise. See, that's called the ah slide. It's kind of like, just think of a trombone, the ah slide. Now, another concern is the double clutch. Now, when I was on the circus, I heard about the double clutch. They were teaching me how to shift the transmission and use the pedals. And they were telling me about double clutching. And I thought to myself, you know, those guys are probably just trying to play a trick on me. You can't fool me because one of those is the brakes. But I found out the double clutch in Toastmasters is a little different. The double clutch here at Toastmasters is the redundant use of word redundancy, or the reiteration of reoccurring unnecessary rhetoric with no reasonable reason for the repeats. In other words, the reiteration of unnecessary words, repeated redundancy without any reasonable reasons for the reoccurrence. I would never do that. And above all else, never use a big word when a singularly loquacious, diminutive selection for the sake of the communication will be satisfactorily sufficient.
Right.
Now, there are legal double clutches. Let's say you're a Toastmaster coach and you're working with 2 new Toastmasters. Naturally, you'd have to say, I had to make them. Then there's adult baby, baby. And what if the shows up in your speech making? If you do the with a bonbon, make sure I'm a there. Now, with Toastmasters, there can be an actual problem if you go to a Chinese restaurant with the rest of the fellowship and you order a poo-poo platter. Yeah, you guessed it. Ding! Now, what you want to do is be very, very careful when you're using these devices, because what you don't want to do is make it so that the ah counter starts to think you're trying to scam them. What you do want to do in an effort to avoid that kind of a thing is use an onomatopoeia, sometimes pronounced onomatopoeia. An onomatopoeia is a word that suggests a gesture, like brum, bum, 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 bum. So let's say you're about to say ah, just use an onomatopoeia instead. This is a great way to entertain your audience with something interesting and rhythmic. Now, the conclusion. You always want your speech to leave your audience wanting more. And just exactly how do you do that? Well, once again, I'm embarrassed. I don't have a logical conclusion to provide you. But what I can do is remind you that I have told you what it is that you can do to make your speeches more interesting, memorable, and how to outsmart your evaluator, and what it is that you can do in a pinch when you realize that you are just about ready to violate one of the talk good rules. Now, all you got to do, and what I challenge you to here today, is to use these easy to use techniques to make your speeches even more interesting, and you will be making interesting speeches just like me.
Yay!
Mr. Toastmaster.
David Butterfly, give him a hand for this speech.